Hi there guys, welcome to our latest series where we'll be discussing 5 things you need to think about in less than 5 minutes. This time we're going to be looking at the steps we need to take when planning for IHT. Firstly, we need to think about our client's objectives and attitude towards IHT. What is it the client wants to achieve and how do they feel about paying IHT? On one end of the scale, we have clients who don't really mind paying IHT. In fact, they're quite happy to have their estate assessed, pay the IHT, and then whatever's left for their beneficiaries is more than enough for them to live on. On the other side of the scale, you've got the people who are not happy with IHT at all and don't want to pay anything at all. The majority of people we find, however, are somewhere in the middle. Once we've understood our client's objectives and their attitude to IHT, the next thing is to understand their exposure. How much IHT do they owe? We'll need to consider their assets and also their liabilities, which will get to a net position before we start considering what reliefs we can deduct from their net estate. Examples of assets might be the family home, a portfolio, an expensive car, perhaps even a nice painting. When it comes to liabilities, we're looking at things like loans, particularly mortgages, but loans in general. Anything that's owed to somebody else by the person would form part of their estate and would be a deduction against their estate. Now we've considered points 1 and 2, step 3 is where ETC tax come in. In supporting you and your clients by preparing a bespoke tax report. The aim of the report is not to blow anybody's minds with technical mumbo jumbo, but actually to set out their circumstances in a nice clear format so that they understand the choices that they have and they can make an informed decision. Once we've delivered the report, we're on to step 4, which is discussing the report with you and your client. The intention of the discussion is really just to ensure that the content of the report has been digested and understood, and that we can help in answering any questions that the client might have. We'll be able to then, from that point, determine which direction the client wishes to go and be able to plot a path from how we get from where we are currently to where we want to be by following our objectives. And then step 5 is getting in touch with solicitors. A lot of the time when it comes to inheritance tax planning, it requires other professional advisors, usually solicitors, to help put plans in action, particularly if we're talking about setting up family investment companies, for example, or trust structures. We're often going to need some form of solicitor to assist us with that legal paperwork. At ETC, we will support you through that process. We will work with the solicitors by preparing a steps plan to ensure they understand what your plans are and that we can then make sure that those steps are taken. Before any paperwork is executed, we at ETC will review it to make sure we're happy that it follows your plans, or your client's plans I should say, in ensuring that their IHT plan is being brought to fruition. If you, or indeed your clients, do need any assistance with IHT planning, then please do get in touch, either through the website or by emailing us at inquiries@etctax.co.uk.